Ungating has been a lot harder than it used to be as of recent, even for experienced sellers like me. That's why I'm going to show you how to get ungated in some of the best-selling subcategories like topical and grocery, and some of the best-selling brands like Nike and Lego. So stay tuned. So there's a few different ways to actually get ungated. Some ways have worked in the past. Some of those same ways might not work now. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of those different steps before we get into the specific ungating of the subcategories and brands. So to get ungated, first off, you need to be submitting an invoice and you need to purchase at least 10 of the same ASIN. Amazon wants to know that you bought in bulk from a reputable supplier and submit documentation to prove that. One way that's worked great in the past is just submitting your order confirmation email, right? Save that as a PDF, submit that document, with 10, of course, purchased of a specific item, and that's normally worked to get ungated. As of recently, that hasn't worked as well. So another method that you could use is actually waiting till you get the product in hand, look for that paper invoice or packing slip that you get with the product that you ordered, and then scan that into your computer and submit that document. That document is an actual invoice, and it has more information that Amazon is looking for to help you get ungated. And one thing I want to mention is if Amazon rejects you when you submit the first time around, resubmit that same document a couple times because chances are they're going to approve you after a few submissions. I've submitted the same document up to 6 times before finally getting ungated. Now, if you keep submitting the invoice and you're not getting approved, you can open a case with seller support and tell them that you have the correct documentation, you don't understand why you're not getting ungated, and sometimes they'll actually just push the ungate through for you and approve you to sell that brand. That's happened to me a couple times actually recently, and it was kind of my last resort to get ungated because I already bought a bunch of the product and it was too late to return it, so I needed to get ungated so I can send that in and sell it. Now that we've gone through the basics of getting ungated, let's jump onto the computer and look at specifically how to get ungated in specific subcategories and brands. All right, so we're gonna start with getting ungated in topical and grocery. So we're gonna go to a website, coopmarket.com. It's an affiliate of Frontier Co-op, which I've made other videos about in the past. But basically, you're gonna search any products and look for ones that you can potentially find pretty cheap, right? The goal is to not spend a ton of money to get ungated because chances are getting ungated on a site like this, although the invoices work, you might not find a ton of profitable products. So if we can find something that works for us, maybe we break even if we lose a couple dollars, right? We're only buying 10 of these. So if we can lose less than, $2 an item, and it's going to sell fairly quickly, so we get that money back to invest in good, profitable leads, then that's a win for us. So I'm looking at just products searched by bees because there's a couple good brands there, and then we're going to look for grocery here. There's a couple Bob's Red Mill. We have Burt's Bees in the beauty category. So if we just open one of these, I'm using SellerAmp to quick search this. So we're looking at 24-ounce bag. Again, we want to find something that's fairly cheap so we're not spending, $500-$600 to get ungated. Ideally, you're spending $100 or less, and you're not going to lose a ton of money, remember. So we see same product here, but the buy box is less than what we're buying. So let's keep looking here. Again, we just want to find something that's fairly cheap, less than a couple $100 to get ungated, and we're not going to lose a ton of money. So okay, we have a 2-pack here. It looks like it's a match, 16 ounce, so it would be 2 pounds with 2-pack, $12.80. It's like $25. So let's open the Amazon listing. All right, so we have $12.80 times 2, so $25.60 is our all-in cost. Again, we only have to buy 10 of these. We don't have to buy 20, right? We don't need the 10 of the Amazon listing. We need 10 of this specific item. So we're still going to make $6 profit on this, and it sells pretty well. 25K, that's a decent rank for grocery, but it will get us ungated in grocery. So all we have to do is put 10 of these in our cart, purchase them, wait for them to show up, look for the packing slip on the inside, scan that into your computer, and submit that to Amazon. Again, we're looking at a 2-pack here, but because the invoice is going to say 10 items, that's what Amazon is looking for, so that should get you ungated. This is the page that it's going to look like. I'm already ungated in Bob's Red Mill, so I can't pull up that specific page, but here's an item that I'm not currently ungated in, so it's going to look something similar. So you're going to have to check all these boxes. Here's where you're going to submit that PDF file of your scanned invoice, and then you're actually going to have to scroll down and submit pictures of the product itself. So you want to take pictures of all different sides of the packaging, make sure the text is very legible because they want to see that there's the manufacturer and the location that it was manufactured on the packaging itself. So you submit all of that information, and in a couple days, Amazon should ungate you in the subcategory for grocery. And if you're not already ungated in Bob's Red Mill, it'll actually ungate you in the brand as well. So it kind of knocks out two birds with one stone. Get ungated in the subcategory grocery, and you get ungated in the brand Bob's Red Mill. And when we start looking at brands, you might find that that's going to happen more often. We can get ungated in multiple brands based on the type of product that we're looking at. So now we want to look at maybe another Burt's Bees listing, and this is going to help you get ungated in not only Burt's Bees, but the beauty subcategory as well. Now you might see topical or beauty, it's the same thing. So if you find a cheap Burt's Bees listing, it should get you ungated. Again, wait for that product to show up in the mail. Submit that invoice, that paper receipt that you get with the product, take pictures of all sides of it, submit both documents, and you should be ungated in a couple days. So now we have Lego, which is going to help us get ungated in the toy subcategory as well as a couple different brands, right? If we're looking at a Disney Lego product or a Star Wars Lego product, we can get ungated in multiple brands at the same time. So we're going to look at shop, and we're going to look at sets by theme. And then we're going to look for, again, we have Disney, we have Star Wars, Spider-Man. All of these are going to require a specific ungate for 10 items. So the goal is to find one of these products, hopefully cheap, hopefully not losing a ton of money, but it gets us ungated in a bunch of different things. So we're just going to search Disney for now. And I'm actually going to sort by low to high, right? We want to look at cheap products because we don't want to spend a ton of money to get ungated. What we can do again is right click, search our seller amp search here. We want to find something that's selling on Amazon and also gets us ungated. So sometimes you have to modify the search here, Lego, so it knows what we're looking at. Okay, here we go. So it's a little bit of a slow seller in this toys category, but $5.99. Again, it's listed for $13.99. So let's open it. If this product works, we can knock out a bunch of different categories, get ungated in toys, Disney, and Lego. So on the Keep It chart, a lot of sellers are selling this for around $12. So that's probably where we're going to list our product. We list it for $12 and we're buying this for $5.99. Again, it doesn't sell a crazy amount of times per month. We're going to lose $2 each, but you're only buying 10 of these. So we're only going to lose $20, but we get ungated in one subcategory and two different brands. So for me, that's a win. Now, if you're not happy with that, you can look at a bunch of different products, right? We can go and look at different categories. Maybe we want to search the Star Wars category because we know we can find a ton of Star Wars products profitable for the Christmas season. So however you want to go about it, just make sure you're picking a brand that can get multiple categories and multiple brands ungated. Now for premium brands, the best way to get ungated in something like Nike or Adidas is to buy 10 of the products right off of their own website. So to get ungated in Nike, we're buying from Nike.com. To get ungated in Adidas or Under Armour, you're going to buy from Adidas.com or UnderArmour.com. Pretty simple. But what we're going to look at is, again, some of these products might be a little bit more expensive. The goal is to not spend a ton of money to get ungated, right? So we want to find some of these products that are a little bit cheaper, because if we're going to buy 10 of them, we don't want to find, 10 of these is going to be $750. And are we going to make money on it? Is it going to sell? We want something that's going to sell pretty quickly and it's going to be cheap to buy. So again, we're going to sort by price low to high because we want to find something that's fairly cheap, but it's going to sell fairly quick so we get our money back and can reinvest in a little bit better of a product. So I see a couple of cheap products here. Again, we're going to look at, we have to open these in a new tab here. So we're just going to open a couple of them, right? We see belt for $10. Again, that's like $110 to get ungated. That's really nice. And we're not trying to make a ton of money here. We're just trying to get ungated and get our money back so we can reinvest in actual good products. So we see $10.97. We're going to open up Seller Amp to see if there is a direct match. We got two colors here, which is nice. So these ranks are really high. We want to find a little bit closer of a direct match here, or something that sells a little bit quicker, to be honest. And it would be sweet if I found a product for you guys, but if not, again, just look through more products here. There's a ton of products on Nike. And if you have to spend, $200-300 to get ungated, maybe try to make a little bit of money off of that. Don't find something that's going to lose you $5 if you're going to spend $500, right? It's a little bit riskier of an investment because you're spending so much money to not make anything back. So if you're going to spend a bunch of money to get ungated, ideally, you're going to be a little bit profitable. But if you're only going to spend $100, if you lose 10 out of that and you get that back quickly, that's a win in my book. We got $10.97. Max cost $9. We got a 4K rank that sells really fast. So we see the Amazon listing here. We're looking at $10.97. If there's a discount, cool. If there's not a big deal. We're looking at $19.89. So we're gonna make $1, only 10% ROI, not great, but it's a 4K rank. So this stuff's probably gonna sell pretty quickly. You're gonna get that money back, right? You invest $110, you make, you come out with like $120. But at least you're getting your money back sooner, so you can reinvest that 120 to make 160, right? Well, we're just trying to get ungated as quick as possible so we can get our money back. So for Nike, they actually send an email when the product ships, and it's kind of their payment overview email. And that's actually a little bit closer to an actual invoice than just their order confirmation email that they send when you make the order. So that document might actually help you get ungated if there isn't a packing slip in the product once you receive it. Again, for most major brands, if you're buying off of their own website, it's going to be a lot easier to get ungated, but you want to use an invoice or a packing slip, right? The order confirmation email doesn't seem to be working as well. You want a document that's going to give you a little bit higher chance of getting ungated. So submit that invoice or that packing slip that comes with the product itself. All right, so that was my comprehensive list of getting ungated in a bunch of different subcategories and brands. This should help you get ungated in a ton of different products, especially just in time for Q4, because you're gonna wanna be ungated in a bunch of these brands because they're gonna sell super well for you going into Q4 and December. So I hope you guys get ungated, crush it this Q4, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more videos.